I've been selling on Amazon for about 4 years. I've done over $3 million in sales. And what I'm about to show you guys in this video is exactly the same information that I share with all of my one-on-one coaching students as I get them started. And these are the same hundreds of students that are generating millions of dollars in total now on Amazon. And I know that this information is going to be useful for anybody that's just getting started, any beginner, or anybody that feels lost. The information in this call is something that will need to be applied for the rest of your Amazon journey as well. And so the couple of disclaimers that I want to make is there are levels on top of this as well. So everything that I'm showing you is kind of level one of what you need to understand. And there's analyzation and sourcing and searching that we add on top of that to make it better. But everything starts right here. So as you guys are watching this video, some of this stuff you guys may have heard of, you might be slightly familiar with, but I think I can still provide a little bit of value through all of these topics, okay? And what you'll see here is I have everything listed from starting your Amazon seller account all the way until analyzation. Now, on top of that, you'll also need to know how to source for these products and how to ship them out. I'm going to create a separate video for that, but I will give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. That way you have all of the information that you need to open your Amazon seller account and start making money. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into things. The last thing I did want to say is as you're going through this, there's probably so many questions that will pop up. I am pretty confident that I will be answering most of those questions in today's call, but anything that I'm not able to answer for you, please do not hesitate at all. You can actually leave a comment under this video or you can message me as well. And I'd love to be the one to help you guys out. So getting started right from the beginning, I'm going to get right into it. It says creating your Amazon seller account. So some of you guys might have your Amazon seller account. Some of you guys might not have your Amazon seller account. But let's talk about setting up real quickly. So I like to mention this in the beginning. That way you can always go back to this and make that decision. But you'll see it says personal info versus LLC or business entity. So when you're signing up for your Amazon seller account, you actually have two options. And I have a guide for you guys to be able to follow to set up your account as well. So I'll show you guys that as we talk along this video. So what you'll see here is whether you're signing up with an LLC or with your personal information, and this is something that you can ask me about too to see what makes sense for you, or you can look into yourself. But regardless of which one you're starting with, you can start with either. You can even add the LLC on later on. But regardless of what you're starting with, you're going to do the same thing, which is go to sell.amazon.com or sellercentral.amazon.com. And I can send you over this guide as well. As soon as you click this link, you're going to see this big orange sign up button on their website, and your Amazon seller account costs $40 a month. Now, when it comes to signing up for your Amazon seller account, there's actually a 3-step process, and I'm going to run through those steps really quickly. That way you can knock them out. Step number 1 is just submitting your personal information to Amazon. So your ID, your payment method, your proof of address, like a bank statement or a utility bill, and you'll have to answer a couple of questions. The answers to those questions are stated right here in this guide, so I'll send that over to you. But that's all step number 1 is you submitting your information and answering a couple of questions. Once you've completed step number 1, step 2, Amazon will have you schedule a quick video call with them. So you'll hop on a quick 5-minute video call, and in this call, all you're looking to do is show them your ID and your payment method so that way they can verify your identity. Okay. So once you've submitted your information, now you've done the video call, the very last step to activating your Amazon seller account is actually just waiting for your activation code. So once Amazon has completed the first 2 steps with you, they'll mail you a postcard to your home that has an activation code on it. And that activation code activates your Amazon seller account. Once your Amazon seller account is up and running, now you can at least conduct business on Amazon. So I wanted to breeze by that. As you guys have any questions about opening that Amazon seller account, definitely feel free to ask, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. Now, the next thing that I have right after opening your Amazon seller account is ungating, because without ungating, you're not about to be able to, sell any products on Amazon, at least for the most part. So if you're absolutely new and you don't know what ungating is, this is actually the process of getting approved to sell any brand name products on Amazon. So when you hear somebody say that they are gated, that means they need approval. Ungated means they are approved, and ungating is the process of getting that approval. So why does Amazon require approval, and how do we get this approval? The only reason that Amazon requires this approval for brand name products is because Amazon doesn't know you, who you are, or what you're selling. And so they need to verify that any products being sold to their customers are actually reliable and authentic. So all that Amazon wants from you as a seller is your proof of purchase showing Amazon that you bought at least 10 units and that you bought this from a reliable source. Okay. And so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an example. If I wanted to get ungated or approved to sell Crayola on Amazon, I would have to order 10 of these from a website that provides me the proper invoice. Okay. Once I've ordered this product, I'll receive that invoice and I can submit that now on Amazon. The cool thing is when I submit the invoice for this product on Amazon, not only am I approved to sell these markers from Crayola, but now I'm approved for all other Crayola products as well. So I can go sell any of them, meaning you only need approval one time for each brand. If I got approved for one Listerine product, I'm approved for all of them. Same thing with any other brand that you'll run across. So that'll be something that's cool. Now, let me explain to you a little bit more about that process. So when we're looking to get ungated, there's a couple of key components. One is we need to be ordering from a reliable source. Two, we need to be ordering at least 10 units because that's a requirement by Amazon. Okay. And so another thing, people ask me all the time, can I just buy something in store with the receipt? And the reason the receipt wouldn't work is because it doesn't have your name and address on there. Whereas when you're ordering online and you're receiving an invoice, it has your name and address. So when you submit it to Amazon, they can actually verify it and go ahead and approve you for that product. So what you'll see here in our guides, I'm showing you the Heinz ketchup guide. And for most beginners, I get them started here for a couple of reasons. One is grocery is a great category that gives you lots of approvals. So you know how I was mentioning when you get approved for something, it approves you for everything in that brand. Meaning if I got approved for Nike, I can sell all Nike. But then I still have to get separate approval for Adidas, Puma, Reebok, Lululemon, all of these other athletic wear brands. Same thing with toys. If I got ungated for Hot Wheels, I still need approval for Disney, Funko, Nerf, Star Wars, and whatever other toys there might be. And so typically approval is brand by brand, but with groceries, you can earn this one approval, just purchase it, submit it on Amazon. And not only will it approve you for Heinz and their ketchup products, but it'll also approve you for majority of grocery. So this is the one category that by submitting approval for one brand, you actually get approval for hundreds of brands. Now, there will still be a few brands that need approval, but this is the easiest way to get approved for a lot. The other reason I like this category is because it is a replenishable category. People are buying groceries, they run out because they eat them and they need them again. So they sell consistently. Another reason this is great for beginners is because there's very low returns or almost no returns for groceries, so you're not having to deal with that. These are just some of the reasons I have you start off here, but the process is exactly the same for no matter what you want to sell, and I'll show you where you guys can go for that as well. But what you'll see right here in step number 1 is to complete a purchase of 10 units, and we have the link for where you need to go to purchase this item. So if you open up this link, you'll see it brings us over to websteronstore.com, and the reason that we're purchasing from this website is because they provide us the proper invoice that we need to get approved on Amazon. So as soon as you order 10 units of this product, it'll cost you probably $40 to $45 with shipping. But once you receive that item, you have the invoice. Now you can go to step number 3, where we have the link for you to open up your Amazon seller account, and it takes you exactly to where you need to submit that invoice. As soon as you submit that invoice on Amazon, now it'll take about 48 hours, but you'll be approved to sell these grocery products. And the process is the same. Order 10 units from Kohl's for Nike. You can order Crayola from OfficeSupply.com, and Target is a great website that provides invoices as well. So any brand that is carried by Target, order 10 units of it online, submit the invoice on Amazon, and you'll be good to go. If any other questions pop up about that, or if you guys have any confusion, definitely drop those comments down below and let me know, or message me and I'll be able to answer them. But I hope this helps you out. If you do end up joining our program, we have a big list of guides that show you exactly where to go to get ungated for anything that you need. And anything that's not in our guides, they are more extensive than what you see right here. But anything that you don't see in our guides, we're always able to let you know exactly where to go for that. So that's something that's awesome. Now we've gotten ungating out of the way. So once you have your account opened up, now you know how to actually get approved to sell these items on Amazon. We can start taking steps into the next direction, okay? So next thing I want to talk to you guys about is FBA versus FBM. Now, even this, a lot of you guys are probably familiar with it and you know exactly what this means, but I wanted to add in a couple of extra points as to why one person might pick one versus the other. So in case you don't know what these are, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. So this is when we are purchasing products, we're packing them up the way Amazon needs, and we're getting them delivered to the Amazon warehouse. Once it's at the Amazon warehouse, they handle everything else for us. They'll ship it to the customer, they'll handle returns, they'll handle customer service, and everything is their responsibility, so we don't take any losses. FBM stands for Fulfillment by Merchant, and that's anyone like you or me. So you can think about it as fulfilled by myself. And this is when we buy products and we actually store them at our home or our office or warehouse. And what happens is we can list these items on Amazon ourselves. Whenever somebody wants to purchase it, we have to pack it up and ship it out directly to the customer. So it's a little bit more work for us shipping out per unit and per order. So people ask me, if we have the option to do FBA, why would anybody want to do FBM? If you can have Amazon do all of the work, why are you trying to do any of it yourself, right? So there's a couple of reasons that I wanted to point out. One of them, oftentimes people guess that it's because of the money, right? Everyone assumes you can make a little bit more money with FBM because you're doing more of the work and there's less fees from Amazon. And yes, you might be onto the right idea. However, that's not always the case. And the reason that I say that is because you do have way less fees when you're doing FBM versus FBA. However, when you're shipping it yourself, you have to pay for the shipping. So although you have a bigger margin, it also has to cover the shipping cost. And if your product is, if your product is bigger or heavier, it's not going to make sense. FBA will be the winner, right? So that might be one reason. But why else might somebody do FBM? Another reason somebody might do FBM is maybe they have a small time frame to actually sell their item, right? They have a small time window or a window of opportunity is what I like to call it. And let me explain this as right now it's June 4th. In a month from now, it's going to be July 4th. Let's say you start looking for products and in a couple of weeks, as you start searching for products, you actually find something that's selling well and you think is going to do well for 4th of July. Well, the thing with FBA is if you wanted to send that to Amazon to start selling that item, it actually takes a couple of weeks most of the time for your product to arrive at Amazon, get checked in before you start making any sales. So if you found it a couple weeks before 4th of July and you just sent it in, by the time 4th of July comes around, that product, nobody's going to need it anymore and you won't be able to deliver it to them on time, so you can't take advantage of those sales. But if you found that product 2 weeks before before 4th of July, if you decide to do FBM for that same product, you can list it up the same day, 2 weeks before 4th of July. And now you don't have to wait 2 weeks for that product to get ready to go at Amazon. Because when you list it yourself as an FBM seller for the FBM option, it's actually ready to go on Amazon's website in just 10 minutes. That means after 10 minutes, people can start ordering it from you. And now you have 2 weeks to get it delivered to them, take advantage of these sales and be able to make extra profit. Whereas if you wanted to do FBA, you couldn't. So I like to think of FBM as an extra opportunity that you might take advantage of sometimes. But overall, FBA is what we want to do and what we'll be focusing on. There's going to be plenty more examples that I show you as to when FBM makes sense. But I wanted to just expand your mind a little bit. That way, as I show you some examples, you'll understand why FBM or FBA is better for each option. Okay. And once again, if you have questions, definitely feel free to ask. The reason that I also noted that FBA is ultimately better is because although you have to wait 2 weeks for your products to be ready to go at Amazon, once they're ready to go, you now have prime shipping, and everyone on Amazon, they're shopping for that prime shipping because that's exactly what they want. So although you have to wait and be patient, you'll ultimately get more sales, faster sales, and I'll show you why, in my opinion, you actually make more money. So that's something that's good. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit of the overview of this business, what you should expect, and how a lot of this stuff works before I start sharing some examples, going into some technical stuff to teach you what you should be doing. Now, this business model is going to be all about, some of it is obvious, but buying low and selling high. With online arbitrage, it's our job to be able to find all of these products for a good price and make sure that they're selling well on Amazon. So the two main aspects of this business are sourcing for products and analyzing. You'll see that there's some people that do arbitrage. They're running around stores, they're scanning around for products, and that's how they're looking for profit. We like to focus on doing this online. So even today, before I show you guys how you can find profitable products and start making money on Amazon, I have to teach you a little bit more about how this money is even made. How can you sell the same product as me and maybe get more profit or faster sales? And how are you actually analyzing it, running across those products? So before I teach you how to find them, I have to teach you how it works, how to know what's good versus what's bad, because there's no point in you looking for products if you don't even know what's good or bad. So that's what we're going to be getting into. I'm sure I'll be answering so many of your confusions and questions. And once we wrap this up, I'll be giving you a quick sneak peek into looking for some more products as well. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at a couple of these examples. So I'm going to open up some listings that I have here on Amazon just to give you guys some examples. So let's take a look at this listing on Amazon. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is actually going to be the buy box. And that's because this is what explains how everything on Amazon works, how you get your sales, how you make your profit, and how you make your product move. Does that make sense? So you're probably somebody that shops on Amazon, right? And when you're shopping on Amazon, whenever you need a product, you typically go right here to click add to cart or buy right now, right? And so this box that we see on the right-hand side, this is what we refer to as the buy box. The reason we refer to this as the buy box is because this is where everyone buys their products, right? And so the reason that this is going to be so important to you as an Amazon seller is because this is where you will get your sales from as well. We're not going to be creating any of our own listing, taking our own pictures, adding our own descriptions or titles. We're actually going to be selling on this listing ourselves as well, right? And what I like to show you here is when we're selling this listing ourselves, we're not automatically going to get sales. We're actually going to fall into this list of sellers right down here. Now, a lot of you guys may have noticed this before, where you can see some of the other sellers that are on this listing. And what I typically ask people is, hey, when you're shopping on Amazon, do you ever look down here at these other options to see if there's a lower price or anything like that? And most people tell me, no, I never look down there. I always just click on the buy box. And some people even tell me that they've never noticed it. Now, if you're someone that does look down there, that's great. You're someone that's super smart. Maybe you're saving a few bucks. But 95 to 96% of sales and customers are all shopping from the buy box, right? So the reason that you need to be concerned about this is because if you decide to sell this product, you're not automatically featured. You're down here in this list of sellers, which I call the dump, and nobody's going to be shopping there. So how are you going to be making money? Well, the good thing is that Amazon, they take these sellers and they do rotate them through the buy box. So you can see right now, this person sold by GMRY. GMRY is the person who's featured right now on Amazon. And so the good thing is Amazon gives multiple sellers a turn. So even from this list of 48 sellers, a bunch of other people are getting turns every single day. However, this person is winning it right now. The thing to understand here is that although Amazon gives everyone a turn, they do not give everyone a turn equally, and they do not give everyone a turn randomly. Okay, there's very specific factors that actually help you win the buy box, and that's what I wanted to cover with you guys first, because that's how you're going to be getting your sales. And I want you to be familiar with that so you know how a lot of this works. So what you'll notice before I get into it is right now the featured price is $24, and there's actually lower prices from $19. So a lot of beginners that are watching this, maybe you've already started selling on Amazon, and a lot of you guys keep dropping your prices thinking that's what's going to help your product sell. And having the lowest price on Amazon is definitely not the right answer. As you guys can see right here, if Amazon wanted to feature the lower prices, then they would do so, but instead $24 is featured here on Amazon. So how does this person get featured? There's two very important primary factors. I call them primary factors that help you win the buy box and get featured. And there's a couple of other factors that I'll mention to you guys as well. Now, the very first and most important thing in order to win the buy box on Amazon is going to be your delivery time. So you can see this person right here, they have Prime 1-day shipping, and this product will be delivered to me tomorrow. Let me actually refresh this. I think this is open from before. But this product will actually get delivered to me in 1 day, right? If we take a look at some of the other sellers that are on this listing, they're probably doing FBM, right? So let's take a look at some of these people. This person, they have a price of $19 and it says sold by this person and it also ships from this person. That means they're doing FBM. Now, although they have a lower price, their delivery time is much slower. So as an FBA seller, you're going to have prime shipping and you're going to get featured in the buy box a lot more because people shopping on Amazon want that prime shipping. So that's something that you automatically get for doing FBA. And that's one more point for FBA because that's going to help you sell more products. So make sure you're doing FBA. Now, the other reason that I like to mention this is because if we do take a look at the list of sellers once again, we can even scroll down here and we can see that there are people with lower prices that are doing FBA, but they still have a much slower delivery time, right? Why is it that this person is doing FBA, but they have a slow delivery time? Well, if you guys remember, I mentioned that when you send your products to Amazon, it actually takes a couple of weeks before you're starting to see, your products are checked in before you start seeing your sales. And so Amazon receives your items and they go ahead and list them on Amazon, as you can see right here for this person. However, until they're fully processed and checked in, like all the way, you're not going to see that prime shipping. And the reason that I like to remind people to be patient for that is because one, we don't have any control of this, but Amazon will give you prime shipping. And secondly, a lot of people send their products to Amazon. They see that they've arrived and they're available, and then they start panicking. They're like, why is my product not selling? Why is my product not selling? And it's simply because you don't have that prime shipping yet. So just be patient, wait around for it. And one of the best ways for you to know that you have that prime shipping is simply opening up the listing, looking for your name right here like we see this person's, and seeing if you have that prime shipping badge right next to your name. So the number one most important factor is doing FBA so you have prime shipping, and then simply waiting for that prime shipping to actually get applied to your Amazon listing. Okay, as you're patient, you'll get featured through. The second most important thing that helps you get featured on Amazon is going to be making sure that you have a competitive price. Now, you might be looking at this like, hey, Hamza, this is selling for $24 and there's lower prices from $19. What is exactly considered a competitive price? Right? And there's only one way to really know that on Amazon for any of these products, and that is by checking Keepa. So I'm going to give you guys a much more in-depth introduction to Keepa here in just a few minutes, but I'm going to scroll down just to give you one small example. Okay? I know Keepa is what confuses most people, but let's just pay attention to this very top graph for a minute. Okay? So in this top graph, it's highlighted right here, it says buy box in pink. So this pink line on Amazon actually just represents the prices that this product has been selling for in the buy box, what prices have been featured. And so when we're taking a look at things like this, what I like to do is I like to teach people to look at the high and the low and understand this as your competitive price range. What you'll notice a lot of times is that on the high end, it says buy box $22.99 FBA. Right? And on the low end, it typically has FBM sellers. So as you hover over this, you can see different people are getting featured on Amazon for different prices. And this is showing you the prices that actually get featured. So it gives you a good idea of the prices that you need to be priced within in order to get featured on Amazon. Does that make sense? And so I typically teach people to look at the high end of where this product is consistently selling. Don't look at the low and the high and be like, okay, I need to be between $19 and $22 because that's not necessarily where you need to be. A lot of times FBM is lower, FBA is higher. Here you do see FBM still getting at higher price points too. So that's how you can figure out if your price good enough or not. Now that's something I'm going to come back to and show you guys better examples of in just a minute, but I at least wanted to give you a sneak peek into how I'm deciding what's a good price and what's not. But what I like to look for is the high end of where it consistently goes. So this product, you might see it's consistently at this $21.20 price point at least. So I would at least be thinking there, but I always like to start a little bit higher because you can see right now, we see it at $24, even though we're not seeing $24 right here. Does that make sense? So that's something to consider as well. And what I might do is I might refresh this for you just to give you guys an idea that this is always changing around as it loads up. So you can see right now, a lower price is actually featured. So a different person is here in the buy box right now. And what I'll do is I'll look at the last week, and I can see those prices have actually been right at 22. So that's something that's cool. I'll show you guys why I like to look at this. Now, those were the first two factors that got you featured on Amazon, your delivery time and your competitive pricing. Next is going to be a couple of smaller factors. One will be your inventory. Let's say both of us are selling the same product. You have 100 units, I have 50 units. Well, Amazon's going to say, hey, this is a popular selling product. This person who has 100 units can accommodate the buy box a lot more. So they're going to feature you in the buy box more often. Whereas if I have less units, I'll get featured less. The reason that happens also goes hand in hand with this last factor that I'm about to tell you about, and that's your location. So I'm in Denver, Colorado. Let's pretend that you're in Nashville, Tennessee. That's just where I grew up, so I wanted to use that example. If both of us are selling the same item and we both send it off to Amazon, let's say we both have it checked in, it's ready to go, and there's a couple of people that are in the country that are shopping for this item. One of them is in California, and let's say one of them is in Florida. Well, when the person in Florida goes to Amazon to search for this product, they're going to see your name in the buy box. They're going to see you featured in the buy box instead of me, because it's easier for Amazon to grab your product from Nashville and send it down to Florida. Does that make sense? It's more efficient, it's faster for them. And so that's who will get featured. But if somebody in California was searching for this product, they might see me instead in the buy box, because that's what's more efficient for Amazon. So even at the same time, there's different people that are rotated in the buy box getting sales, just depending on where you're located and where your product is located. Now, the cool thing here is just because you're in Tennessee or I'm in Colorado doesn't mean that we only get sales in our regions. The more inventory you send to Amazon, the more they spread it all around the country. That way, if you send something in from Nashville, it'll get spread to North Carolina, Illinois, Texas, California. And so the more inventory you have, the more it gets spread, the more buy box feature you can actually earn in different regions. So the reason I like to mention this is because Amazon is doing their best at selling your item. They make more money from selling your products than holding on to them. So they're always trying to help you out as well. If you could recap just one thing and remember one thing from here, or two things, that is the most important factors, which is delivery time and competitive price. But you can see even right here, this person without the fast delivery time is still getting featured on Amazon. So everyone will still get a turn for the most part, as long as you are meeting that criteria. So everything that I mentioned to you guys right now, you'll be able to see the proof of this on Keepa as well. But even if we take a look at a couple of other examples, right now the featured price is $25.98, even though there's lower prices from, let's say, about $18, $19. So these are some more examples that we'll take a look at in just a minute. But I wanted to at least show that to you guys. That way you know what to expect. Now, since we've covered the buy box, and you'll learn a little bit more about this when we get to Keepa, the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, because the buy box kind of explained how are people getting sales, right? You might have been curious, how is one person beating the other person? How can you get featured in the buy box, and how Amazon's rotating them through? So that explains how Amazon works and how products sell on Amazon. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the sales rank, because this is what's going to explain to you how well products sell on Amazon. And I know to this part too, some of the stuff I've been covering is a little bit basic, so some of you guys might be familiar with it, but hang in there and we'll get to the good stuff as well. So as we take a look at any product on Amazon, if we scroll right down here, you'll notice here that it mentions the BSR, or the best sellers rank. Okay, and the BSR is just short for bestsellers rank. This is also known as sales rank. So you might hear me or other people talk about this interchangeably. But you can see this product is ranked at 7,000 in toys and games. So what are these rankings, and how do they help us out? The way these rankings work is there are millions and millions of products on Amazon, and everything is simply not selling as good as the next product, right? So Amazon, they rank all of their listings to let us know how well it's selling, right? So if there's millions and millions of products, they'll rank all of them, and the lower something is ranked, the better that product is selling. So to give you another example, let's say 1 million people were in a race. Whoever ran the fastest, they were first place. So the closer you are to the number one, the faster that product is selling. Now, we're looking at something ranked at 7,000. And you might be wondering, is this good? Is this bad? Is this not good? This is amazing, right? Considering that there's millions and millions of products, 7,000 is a very low number. That's something that's selling very well on Amazon. And that's why you see it selling as well as it is. So we'll analyze that further too. But when we take a look at this, people are like, okay, well, if that's good, then what is considered bad, right? Like, how do I know that it's not a good ranking? And the answer for this is a little bit different for every category. What's good for clothing might not be good for beauty. What's good for beauty might not be good for toys. And what's good for toys might not be good for groceries. And so what I like to explain to everyone is that in each and every category, we like to aim for the top 1% of best-selling products. Now, this is not the only thing. This is not the end all be all, like, hey, if it's in top 1%, it's a good product. There's more analyzation that goes into it. But this is step one, is making sure that product is within the top 1%. So now let me show you what I mean by that top 1%. If we take a look at this page right here, you can see on the left-hand side, it shows you all of the different categories that are on Amazon. If we take a look in the middle, you'll see right here, it mentions the top 1%. BSR. So this is showing you what are the top 1% best rankings for every single category on Amazon. If we take a look at this a little bit closer, you'll notice for baby products, it shows us the top 1% is anything that's ranked at 41,000 or less. So if I was looking at products in the baby category, I would want to make sure that that product has a sales rank of about 40,000 or lower, because that's what's considered to be a good seller. But now if we take a look at the beauty and personal care section right below that, this is a much bigger and better selling category. And so the top 1% here is actually 146,000. That's a whole lot more products for you to be able to take advantage of, right? So that's something that's cool. And what you'll notice is every category is a little bit different, right? Grocery, 38,000. Toys, 91, health and household, 109. And there's some categories that are so big, like clothing, the top 1% goes way past 2 million. Now, we don't want to be looking at any products that are ranked this high at all. As a beginner, what I'm going to encourage you guys to do is stay below 100,000 sales rank. Okay? So any of these categories that the top 1% goes above 100,000, like for beauty, the top 1% goes all the way to 146. I would want to stay below 100,000. And then for any of these categories that don't even go up to 100,000, I'm just going to follow whatever they tell me. So for baby, I stay below 40,000. For anything that goes above 100,000, I just stay below that. Does that make sense? So if you guys have any questions about that, definitely feel free to ask me those questions. I just wanted to show you guys this chart. That way you guys have a little bit of an idea of what I am referring to when I say top 1%. But ultimately, this is not something that you'll need, and I'm about to show you guys why. Okay, so let's take a look at this product again. So now that we know for toys and games that 7,000 is considered a great ranking, because we understood that anything below 90,000 is actually considered top 1%. If we can double check right here, toys and games, 91,000. Because we know that this is a really good selling product now, that's great information, but it's not enough. This right here is the only piece of information that Amazon really provides us in order to let us know how well a product is selling. And that's not enough information for me to decide whether I want to sell this or not. And so that is why I use Keepa to analyze products a little bit further and decide whether they're going to be worth it for me or not. Does that make sense? So let's take a look at Keepa now. I know this is where most people get confused and, they're like, hey, what's going on? Why do we need to learn these graphs? What do they mean? But I promise I'm going to break this down for you guys pretty well. And I think it'll make a lot of sense as soon as you guys have watched this. So let's get right into it. Now, if you guys need to know how to actually add these Chrome extensions, that's something that's super easy. You can ask me about that as well. I'm going to skip that for now for the sake of this video. When I'm taking a look at Keepa, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my top graph. I'm going to show you guys what every line means and work my way down to show you how we actually use all of this information together, okay? This is what's going to help me decide if this product is worth it or not, how many I should purchase, how much profit I'm able to make, and this is how you properly analyze any listing to determine whether it's worth you adding that onto your catalog or not. So I'm going to go slowly with this example right here. And then I have a few other examples opened up that we can review through quickly. And I think that'll give you guys a great idea of just how these products actually sell on Amazon. Okay. So Before we even look at the top, you'll see right here at the very bottom, it mentions the sales rank and it tells us that, hey, this product is within the top 1%. It's actually in the top 0.1%. So this is not something that we're having to look up at that chart. It shows us at the bottom of Keepa. Additionally, here we can see these monthly sales. The reason I like to point this out is because this is going to be one of the most reliable places for you to see how well this product is actually selling. Other softwares give you a number, but it's not going to be accurate at all. And because this piece of information is directly from Amazon, I really like to rely on it. Okay, so we'll come back and take a look at that, and I'll show you guys how that's going to be important. All right. Now, before I get further into this, I just want you guys to know you can filter these graphs by month, week, year, 3 months. You can even zoom in on any time period that you want. That way you can get an idea of exactly what's happening. So as we take a look at the very top graph to get us started, this top graph is meant to show us exactly how much this product sells for so we can get an idea of how much we should be selling it for. Okay. The reason this is confusing is because there's all of these filters on the right side, and we can actually add more filters, make it more confusing too, but we don't need to do all that. So I'm going to click on some of these and explain them one by one. Okay, this red orangish color, it says new third-party FBA. This is the lowest price of FBA sellers, and the lowest price never really matters to me too much, so it's not something I want to pay attention to. Okay, when I click on the blue, this is the lowest price of FBM sellers at any given time. Also something that I really don't care about, so I'm not paying the most attention to. Right now, as a beginner, when you're getting used to this, I want you to pay close attention to the buy box. All right, because the buy box is going to explain the prices that this product sells for, which is what I showed you guys earlier too. Now, the reason that this is very important is because, for one, you're seeing all of the prices over time, getting an idea of the highs and the lows that you can sell this product for. You can see the names of all the different sellers that are getting featured. So you can see it says ELA Shops, you can see Trader TCG, you can see NAC Office, you can see CFB Beauty, you can see Amazon. Some people ask me if that was me. That's actually not me. That's funny. But here you're seeing the rotation of many different sellers. Now, the reason that I like to emphasize this most is because, one, this is going to tell me how much this product sells for and what I can expect. But also, if I ever open up SellerAmp, right, or Amazon Seller, anything to run my calculations and see how much profit I'm making, it's typically going to compare me to the lower prices on the listing where I'm not making as much profit. I always want to be making a minimum of 30% ROI, and there's a little bit more that goes into it as well. But I always want to make a minimum of 30% ROI. And so the price that's plugged in right now, and I'm able to buy this product for $10. You can see this right here. So I have my cost price plugged in and the sale price they compare me to. It doesn't seem like a good product. But if I analyze this listing on Keepa and I realize that this product consistently sells for $21, even $22, right? It's getting up to that $22. It's even getting higher than that. As I'm patient at the $21.98, $22 price point, I can see that actually makes me 40% ROI and $4 profit. So when you're not analyzing Keepa to see how much these products are actually selling for, you might not realize the amount of money you're able to make on a product. Even if I go with the safer number of calculating by $21, where we see this a little bit more often, you can still see that gets me to my 30% ROI price point and $3 profit. Right? Now, even when we see the ROI meeting our expectations or our requirements, that doesn't mean that this product is just good to go. There's much more analyzation that we want to do further to see, is it worth it to make $3.30 per unit or not? Okay, so as we're taking a look at this graph, this top graph, all it does is really let us know how much this product sells for, so we can come up with the price, we can plug it in and see if it makes us 30% ROI. And just for a reminder, I would never look at this like, oh, the low price is 19, the high price is 22, let me pick something in the middle. I'm going for the high end of where it consistently goes, and I see it consistently gets up to that $21 price point. I would personally even be patient at $22.99, where I make a little bit more money as well. So that's something that's awesome. So this first graph was mainly just used to let me know how much this product sells for, and I don't want to go by the automatic number on SellerAmp because I don't want to miss out on any profit. Now, let me talk to you guys about the middle graph here on Keepa. right? So this middle graph here, it talks to us about the sales rank once again. So if you remember, we looked at the BSR and the sales rank of this product right down here, and we saw that it's at 7,000, right? This is an amazing sales rank. It's very low. So we know that this product sells well, but the sales rank actually changes every single day on Amazon. And so we need to make sure that it's consistently selling well on Amazon, okay? So when you take a look at this graph, you'll see that we can turn off some of these extra filters too. We don't really need any of the subcategories. We mainly care about the primary category. So you can see here that the ranking is changing every single day, right? So the rankings change every single day. But for toys, we know that we need to remain below 90,000 for it to be considered a good selling product. And if I'm hovering over this, I can see that over these last few months, this product has consistently remained well below 20,000. So I know that this is constantly a good selling product. And the reason that I show this example is because you'll notice everything is not a good selling product, right? If we look at the ranking for this product right here, you'll see that one day it's ranked at 98,000. And for beauty and personal care, we decided, or we saw that the top 1% is anything 140,000 or less. And we also decided that we just want to stay below 100,000. So this product just barely meets our requirements, right? But a few days later, the ranking is at 250,000. And a few days before that, it was at 350,000. So every product is not always consistently selling well. And this is something that we always need to use Keepa to make sure of, is that the ranking of our product is consistently good, because that's what's going to let us know the product consistently sells well. A lot of people here ask me, how far back do I look? I typically like to look at the last 3 months because that tells me that the product is selling well. Sometimes I look further back than 3 months to see if there's anything that I need to watch out for. And if a product hasn't been consistent for 3 months, then I like to see, hey, is it seasonal? Maybe is it just starting to go down in ranking because it's 4th of July? And you can look historically to see if that makes sense. But regardless, at the time of you purchasing a product and wanting to sell it, you want to make sure that it's fairly consistent. Now, if we go back over to this example, what you'll see is the top 2 graphs were really easy. The first graph just told me how much this product sells for, so I can plug it in and see, hey, do those numbers work for me? Yes or no? If those numbers in the top graph didn't work for me, I would have moved on from this product. But I plugged in those numbers, I saw I make 30%, and I go ahead and move to the second graph. Now in the second graph, I see the ranking is consistently good, so I know this product sells well. And a cool feature that they recently added is this monthly sold filter. So this yellow line that you guys see right here is actually a reflection of this monthly sales that I told you guys about down below Keepa. So not only can we see that the product is ranked well, but now it also just shows us the monthly sales, so that confirms everything for us. Now this is something that we're actually about to come back to, so I'll come talk about it in just a second. But that kind of knocks it out for the first 2 graphs. Now, this bottom graph here on on Keepa, this is talking to us about the number of sellers that are selling this item at any given time, right? So for every single product on Amazon, people always ask me, how much competition is too much competition? And this is showing you exactly how many people are selling this, so you know about your competition. And so I tell people that there's no set number of sellers that's considered too many. That's because every single product is different. Some products on Amazon, they're selling over 20,000 times a month. So you need plenty of different sellers to keep it in stock. Some products on Amazon, they only sell 200 times a month. You obviously don't want as much competition because then you're not going to be able to make as many sales. And so what I'm going to show you right now is one of the most basic ways to use Keepa to analyze a listing and determine whether that listing is too competitive or not. Okay, so typically what I like to do is, let me see if I can look a little bit further back. And I'm just going to use this part of the example for now. Okay, so as we're taking a look at this, you can see that this product right down here had below 30 sellers, and then they continue to rise all the way up to almost 60 sellers, right? So this seller count doubled. It went from like 25 to more than double. So this is a big increase in competition and something that we may be concerned about, right? But what we can notice here is even during the rise in competition here, our prices are steadily holding at a good steadiness, right? We're not at the point of losing any money, and the product continues to sell well. So I'm always comparing the seller count to the prices in the top graph, right? And if I show you guys another example, you'll get a better idea of what I mean, and it's this. You can see for this product, the same thing happens. It goes from right under 30 sellers all the way up to 50, maybe a little bit less than the other listing. But for this example here, what you notice is the prices start to go down at the exact same time, right? So you can see these graphs kind of pinching towards each other, showing you that as more sellers start selling this product, they're pulling their prices down and making this listing competitive. The reason that I would want to avoid this is because now I'm thinking, hey, by the time I send my product to Amazon, who knows how much lower those prices are going to be. That's probably going to be something I want to avoid. Now, the reason that this happens most of the time is because beginners, they're really impatient. You spend your money, you want your money back right away, and you keep lowering your prices. Or this product ultimately is not selling fast enough for people to keep their prices the same and be able to win the buy box. And because they want to sell it quickly, they're going to lower their price, and it causes this competition. So whenever I see this happening, I kind of want to avoid a listing, at least for right now. Let me show you guys something a little bit further. The reason I don't skip these listings entirely is because I can see it still had a really good ranking. This product stayed below 20,000 in groceries, which means it was selling well. And so what I like to do sometimes is I will just bookmark these listings or save them in a Google Sheet, because you can see this product was actually selling very well here on Amazon. The prices started to drop as the competition went up, but then as the competition sold out, those prices went back up as well. And so the reason I like to show this example is because just because a product is bad one day does not mean it'll stay bad forever. And so I like to save a lot of these products in 6 to 8 weeks. I come back to them because I know that they'll be good again and the competition is going to be gone. The other reason that I like to show this example is because this is something that you will definitely experience as well. You're going to have products that you're selling and they're going just fine for you, and then all of a sudden their competition might rise and the prices might go down. And so here's where you have to make a decision. Can I afford to be patient and wait for the prices to go back up? Or does it make sense for me to just make less money and go ahead and sell the item, right? Even let's say for some reason, I like to talk about these things, but your prices started going down to the point where now you're losing money, right? Imagine you were going to make $5 profit and you bought 20 units of this product, right? And it cost you $5 each. So you bought 20, cost you $5 each, you spent $100, and you're planning on making $5 profit each. Now let's pretend the prices went all the way down to the point where you're losing $1 each instead of making $5 each, right? Well, worst case scenario, you bought 20 of them, so you lose $1 per, you spend $100, you lose $20, you still have $80. I'm only mentioning that because the risk in Amazon selling brand name products is low, your loss is very low. And so when you understand that, hey, even if I mess up like terribly, right? I can still sell my product, get back most of my money, learn from that mistake and move on. So I like to kind of throw that in there. But this gives you guys a good idea of the analyzation. Now you can see this graph, the prices are still steady at these $22, $21 price points where we need them to be, where we make 30% ROI. We can see that the sales of this product are very good. And even with the competition rising and going up, it's not affecting our prices to the point where they start tanking down. Does that make sense? And so as far as the analyzation on the graphs go, I'm going to give you guys some more examples, but this is mainly what you're looking for. There's a little bit more on Keepa that I'm going to tell you guys about, but then I'm going to wrap it up and show you how I make decisions on how much money I'm making, how many I should purchase, things like that, and how quickly I expect them to sell. So once I've taken a look at these 3 graphs on Keepa, for the most part, I am good to go. And you'll see for the other examples, I quickly look at this part of the graph and I make a decision. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of other things as well. Now, when I click on data right up here at the top of Keepa, this is where there's 2 more pages that I like to look at as well. One of them is the offers tab, and the other one is the buy box statistics. Okay. And the reason that I like to look at the buy box statistics is because on the right hand side here, it shows me the rotation of the sellers on this listing. So if you think about it, buy box statistics refers to the rotation of the buy box, right? And so if I click on last one here on the right side, we can see that right now This someone got rotated through 43 minutes ago. Somebody got rotated through 53 minutes ago, 2 hours ago. And in the last day, there's been over 10, almost 15 people that have been featured in the buy box, right? So you guys can see there's 43 people selling this item, and 15 of them got featured to be able to sell their item within the last 24 hours. That should be giving you the confidence in knowing, okay, now I understand that Amazon is giving turns to multiple people. I'll be able to sell my product as well. Does that make sense? And so this is something that's really cool to be able to see. Even this video that I'm recording right now is about 50 minutes long. So while I've been recording, 3 people have already been rotated through the buy box. So that's something that's really awesome. It is a little bit different for each and every product that you see on Amazon, but this gives you the confidence in knowing that people are getting rotated through. Does that make sense? Now, another quick thing, this is something that you guys can definitely use a lot further as well, but I wanted to just quickly breeze by this. I like to look at the offers and click on include historical offers always, because what this page right here does is it shows me the names of the people who are already selling this. So I can see all of their names. I can actually see how many units they've sold within the last 30 days. So this person has sold 54 units. This person has sold 37, 29, 26. And I see exactly what's going on. Not only can I see how many they sold in the last 30 days, but I can also see how many they've sold in total. So this product continues to sell consistently. And this person has sold over 500 of these, over 800, over 2,000, 100, 260, right? So this is some really awesome information to be able to see. Not only can I see how many they've sold, but a lot of times here, I can even see how quickly. So if I zoom in right here, this is low quantity. Let's check this out. Let me look for an example down here maybe. Or else I guess this works. So even here, you can see for this product on April 4th, they had 29. And then, oh, wow, this is all in one day. So you can see they actually sold out of 29 units all in one day. So you can zoom in and see how quickly these products were selling. So that gives you an idea of how fast this product is selling too. That's something that's great. Here, you can also see the price points that people are selling for. So 23, 22, 22.20, 23, $20. So we're not crazy for wanting to price ourselves where we are because we see other people being able to do that as well. Now that I've analyzed this information, I've seen all this information, how do I use all of this to make a final decision here on Amazon, right? So once I know that I make at least 30% ROI, so let me just go back down to like $21.98 or even $21, right? I'm just comparing with the lowest price so everyone is satisfied by it. But once I know that I'm making 30% ROI based on the prices that I plugged in, and I see that my competition is not bothering me, I like to look at the last 30 days of sales, and I can see here that the monthly sales are at about 600. Right? And right now you can see it was updated a few minutes ago. It's at 700. So as a beginner or two beginners, what I say is once you see that things are good and consistent, I like for you to purchase 5 to 10% of the last 30 days of sales. Okay. So if we were purchasing 10% of the last 30 days of sales, which is 700, that would be about 70 units for a product. Okay. So if I plug in 70 units right down here, you'll see that that brings me a total profit of $231. So all that I'm trying to show you guys here is that I wouldn't be looking at just the per unit amount. I would analyze a listing entirely to see how many can I purchase, how many do I comfortably feel like I can sell, and plug that in to see am I making a decent amount of profit. Now, even this from the same 70 units, we could actually be making $350 profit, another $100 at least, right? And that's because it does sell at these higher price points as well. Now, the cool thing about SellerAmp is that not only does it show me my profit, but it's my profit after all of my Amazon fees, after my inbound shipping fees, so the shipping costs to send it to Amazon, the placement fees, as well as the packing fees as well. So anything that it might cost you to sell this item on Amazon, I'm already calculating or over calculating with my SellerAmp. Now, you're making $350 from this one product right here. The whole purpose of Amazon is going to be to add on multiple products. Imagine you have 10 different products that make you $300 just like this. Now you're making at least $3,000 in profit on Amazon. I'm going to show you guys a few more examples. I'm going to run through these analyzations a little bit more quickly. And some of the products that I show you, they actually generate you much more. There's products that will make me $2,000 in a month, $1,000 in a month, $500 in a month. But as long as it makes me a certain amount of money, I'm willing to add that product on, because I'll be honest with you guys, once you get good at what you're doing, you can find 10 products just like this one in the same day. I might find 10 more of these and I could make $3,000 profit for that, sourcing that I was doing just in one day. So that's the beauty of finding these products on Amazon. Let me go through, analyze a few more, and then I'll get you guys to actually finding these good products. So I'm going to go left from right at the top of my screen to walk you guys through a few different examples just to show you guys how I would analyze them. So this product right here, you can see I'm getting 10% off as well. So I'm able to purchase this product for delivery. Okay, I can do 10%. It usually lets me get a discount for $6.29, but let's go ahead and just apply this 10% right here, right? So if this product was normally $6.99, I can multiply this by 0.9 to get 10% off, and it brings me to $6.29. Now at $6.29, I can see for what it's selling for right now, look, it already compares me to the lower price on the listing, but it's selling for $25.98. So let's plug in $25.98. Now, this is beautiful. $8 profit, 100% plus ROI, but I can't get excited just from seeing this. I always have to check Keepa. So as I scroll down, as you guys remember, I'm going to start off by mainly looking at the buy box, okay? I'm looking at the last 3 months here, and what I can see is, sure, these prices are starting to spike up a little bit here recently. However, they haven't been like that for a while. So I see it's at $25. Maybe I'll start by testing my prices up there because I see they're winning the buy box. But overall, for the last 3 months, I cannot expect this product to sell at those price point. It mainly stays lower around these $20, $19.90 and things like that. So on average for the last 3 months, I would say that this product's around $20 actually. And that's where I would be expecting to, sell this item, make my profit. Now, I do see that it goes down a little bit lower or a lot lower sometimes, but because it barely goes down to that price point, I'm not, too concerned about it. I see that it comes right back up. The person that sells it at these lower price points consistently sells out. And then now they're not selling it for that low price anymore. So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, hey, 85% of the time my prices are where they need to be, so I feel pretty solid about this product. But as a beginner, you might feel a little bit iffy, and I'll show you some products that make you feel a little bit safer. As we're looking at the ranking for this product, I know for health and household that being under 100,000 is where we need to be. And so the ranking of this product does stay closer to 100,000, but it is relatively below that. So it's something that just works for us, right? And as we can see, the sales in the yellow line, they're starting to go up and maybe get up to that 300 sales a month mark, maybe going back down to 2 now. So we have a decent amount of sales here. As I'm looking at the competition, this seller count is not going up, it's actually going down, and that's what's actually been helping my prices go back up. So this product is not at the point where I'm worried about the pinching or the price tanking. Does that make sense? So this is something that is good to go. Now, as I analyze this, although it is a little bit iffier, even if I went with the safer price of $20 instead of $26, this product sells 200 plus times a month. If I was buying 10% of that, that would only be about 20 units, right? And 20 units only makes me $60 profit. I really like to be able to make around $100 profit out of a product before I add it on. So because this one's a little bit iffy, it doesn't sell as fast either, I might actually pass on this. Now, same thing, you might find 10 of these in a single day, and that's another $600. So I'm not saying it's not entirely worth it, but I like to hold myself to a certain standard so I don't just go out and about just adding every single product that I see. Does that make sense? Let's scroll through a couple more of these real quickly. This might be one that I pass on, right? So I can see here, this product I get for $249. And as I get this for $249, for the prices it's selling for, the ROI is great, but the profit is low. This product only sells 200 plus times a month. So same thing here. Although the ROI is great, you might think it's a good product. If I buy 10% of this, I'm only making 37 bucks. So this is something that I personally would just pass on and look for something a little bit better. So let me show you guys another example. this pickle juice, I actually am able to purchase this for $6.36 for a case of 12. Okay. And so for this listing on Amazon is for a pack of 6. When I go to plug this in, it only cost me $3.18 for the 6, and selling for $19, I make 200% ROI. So let's analyze Keepa and make sure it's good. As I'm taking a look at this product, we'll start by looking at the buy box. And over these last few months, I can definitely see that it hangs around these $20 price points. It goes down, stays pretty even right here as well. But overall pretty good. And so what I'm doing typically here is even at these low prices of, let's say, $18.30, I can see that I still make a great ROI, so I'm not worried about some of these lower prices, right? As I look at the ranking for grocery, we want to be below 40,000, and I can see that this product is consistently below that 40,000 point as well, so that's awesome. Same thing here, the competition is not bothering me. There's only 10 sellers, and this product sells 1,000 times a month. So doing my basic analyzation, even at the lower prices, the ranking is good, the monthly sales are amazing, and the competition doesn't bother me. If I bought 10%, which is 100 units, amazing product. I can make $600 profit within a single month just by buying a safe quantity. Now, because this product is so good, the ROI is so great, the profit is solid, the sales are awesome, I would actually look further back at this at a year, and I'm like, wow, over the entire last year, this product has never sold for a price where I would lose any money. The lowest price was only for a little bit at $16.50, or else this product typically sells for more. Even at that lowest price, I make great money. So products like this where the prices have consistently been good and the sales rank and the sales volume has consistently been good, the competition has not been bothering us, this is where I feel a lot more confident than just buying 10%. I would probably buy 300 units of these at least. That way, at the higher prices of where it's selling for, let's say $19, I'm actually making almost $2,000 profit by spending $1,000. So this is what I'm doing to analyze my listings to make decisions. I wanted to make this video to give you guys a quick overview. I think this gives you a good idea on how to get started in terms of setting up. I think it gives you a good idea on how Amazon actually works and a great idea on how to analyze and make decisions. This is just a little bit of a sneak peek. There's more analyzations that I actually, do as well. I also dig a little bit deeper. There's other things that can get involved, but this is level 1 to understanding how Amazon works and how you properly analyze a product to make decisions. Now that you know how to analyze products, make decisions, and see the profitability of a product, you're probably wondering how you're going to be able to find more of these products. And I'm going to be making one more video right after this that walks you through exactly how to look for products now that you know how to analyze them. I just wanted to show you this first because there's no point in looking for products if you can't tell if they're good or not. This video right here is going to be all about finding winning products. Okay, so if you wrapped up the last video that kind of got you started with how Amazon works, setting up, getting approvals, and being able to analyze products with Keepa. Now, if you skipped even a minute of that last video, or if you didn't understand it completely, I would absolutely go back and make sure all of that is covered, because it makes absolutely no sense to be looking for products if you don't even know how to analyze them and know that they're good. Okay, so make sure you guys go watch that video. If you've already watched that video, then we'll go ahead and get right into finding winning products. Now, on Amazon, there are so many different ways to be able to source for products, whether it be different ways online, from wholesale suppliers, going in store, scanning. But what I'm going to be showing you guys today is what is the best and most efficient way for anybody starting off to be able to find winning products consistently online from their computer. Okay, so as long as you have your computer, you can make money on Amazon. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. So as you guys can see highlighted, I have right here on my screen reverse sourcing or storefront stocking. And this might actually be something that many of you guys have heard of or you're familiar with. Maybe you're absolutely new, but regardless, many people struggle with this. Even though they know what it is, they actually struggle finding winning products. And so I think I'm going to give you guys a few tips and tricks that will definitely help you out, lead you in the direction of being able to find these products consistently so you can actually operate a business. As you guys have questions, definitely feel free to leave them down below. There will be a comment chat option for you, or you can always message me as well. So we'll kind of go over some of these right here. Now, the way reverse sourcing works or storefront stocking works is it's the idea of stocking your competition, seeing what they're selling that you could take advantage of as well, right? So this product that I'm looking at right now on Amazon, it's something that with all of my discounts applied, you guys can see the 15% cash back. I'm able to purchase this product for $5.51, and it's currently selling on Amazon for $14.95, where I make $2.50 profit and 46% ROI. Now, I know this isn't the craziest amount of profit, but this product sells 400 plus times a month. So even if I was buying a very safe amount, like let's say 10% of the last 30 days of sales, let's say I bought 40 units, I'd be making $100 in profit. Okay, so $100 in profit is not about to change your life, but what I'm about to teach you is how you can find 10 more of these in one day. So then you could be making $1,000 in profit for the time that you're putting in. And that's the entire purpose of selling brand name products on Amazon, is to carry multiple products that you actually make your money from. Yes, you're going to have products that make you $2,000 in a month, $3,000 in a month, $500 in a month. But anything that makes me $100, I'm willing to add that to my storefront because I know I'm about to find so many more, and every 10 is another 1,000. So that's kind of the first idea I wanted to give you. And if this product sold well for me, I'd be able to replenish it, maybe send in 80 units. So that's going to be $200 profit. And if I had 10 products like that, that's another $2,000. So that's going to be the first idea. So since I know that I can make money on this product right here, and I'm buying this directly from the Lowe's website, I know that everybody else that's on Amazon, there's about 24 other sellers. All of these people are doing the same thing as me too. They're buying it from this website and they're selling it on Amazon for a profit. So if they're doing the same thing as me and this product is profitable for them, they probably have more products on their account that are profitable. And with SellerAmp, we're able to see all of those products on their account with a lot of data that helps us sort through it and know what's worth it for us, what's not worth it for us. Okay, so as I scroll down on SellerAmp, you'll see on the left-hand side right here where it says offers that I've already filtered this, so you can see it has FBA and FBM, but if you click on all offers, it'll filter it to just FBA sellers, which is where I like to start. Now, as I hover over these names, you'll be able to see this person right here, they have no reviews. This person has 33 reviews. This person has 1. And so I'm typically hovering over these to get an idea of what type of seller each person might be. And as a beginner, I'm going to be teaching you guys to avoid sellers that have way too many reviews. And I'll kind of talk to you guys about why you should do that. Or else you should be opening up all of these sellers. But let's say we just take a look at this one seller right here. They have 18 reviews, right? County Line Deals. So once I click on their name, it actually opens up their profile, and now it starts sharing with me all of the products that they're selling. And before I even start scrolling down, you'll see here it shows me all of their top brands. It shows me their top categories that they're selling in. And it gives me an idea of how many products they have here. Okay, so over time, you're actually going to get used to this to the point where you'll know which brands are selling well and which brands are not. And so I can look at some of these brands and I'm already familiar with the idea of, hey, these are reseller friendly brands. This person's literally selling great value from Walmart. So you know they're buying stuff from local stores, online websites, and they're selling these on Amazon, right? So that's something you'll get used to over time too. But for now, you're going to have to manually look through their products and see what works for you and what doesn't. So now that we can see other people's products, it shows us the BSR, which tells us how well the product is selling. It shows us how much they might be selling it for, what it's selling for today. And it also tells us, hey, the max cost. If you were to look for this product, this is the price that you would need to find this product for in order to make 30% ROI. Okay, and so what you're able to do here is you're able to just hover over this right corner where it has the G for Google search. And if you wanted to search for this product, you just click here and it automatically searches on Google and it starts looking for the exact product that you're searching for. Okay, so when I go back over here, I can see that this is for a PS4. Right? And so it doesn't say that in the title, so it didn't search for that. So I might type in PS4. And so now I can see, okay, for the PS4, I actually found this product. It's available for $19.99. Now it told us here that we needed to find it for a little bit under $19, but because I see it for a similar price, like something that's relatively close, I'm just gonna go ahead and check it out. So typically, I like to open up these websites and see, is there any extra discount or coupon that might be available on the website that I can apply to actually get this product cheaper for the price that I see it for. In this case, I don't see much going on, so I see it's $20. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this blank space right here, and I'm just going to plug in the price, and I see it's already plugged in, $19.99. And for what it's selling for right now, I can see the buy box is at $36.31. So let me plug that in, $36.31. I can see that brings me 22% ROI and $4.50 profit. Now, you guys already know we want to be looking for a minimum of 30% ROI. So this is not quite where I need it to be, but because it's close, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up the Amazon listing by clicking on this Amazon logo, or you can click on this Amazon logo. And this is something that's cool. So literally just from Google searching this product, we already found it for a cheaper price. And the reason I'm wanting to open it up and look at it further is because even though it's not quite at the profit we want it, maybe I can analyze Keepa and see, hey, does this product sometimes sell for more? And if it does, am I able to price myself there and make that 30% ROI? So already just from searching one product, we're able to find something. So let me open this up. And as this loads up, I can see it's selling for $36.16 right now. So we kind of checked out that price. Now on Keepa, back here, we can see it used to have a lot more up and down. And when it does this up and down, I kind of want you guys to look at the high end of where it goes and sell products for the high instead of the low. Okay, but as we take a look at this recently, it's just been this flat line. And when we see this flat line, we're going to have to follow that flat line. So let's say it's at about $36.40. That's the price point at which we would be able to sell this at. Now, even if we could make this profit, even if we were happy with 23% ROI and $4 profit, the sales rank of this product is not very good at all. If you guys remember, we want to be, as low as possible in the video games category. Staying below 10,000 is honestly the rank that we're looking for, and this product is way higher. Whenever you see these big spikes happening, that's typically going to be a slow selling product for you. So on top of the price not being quite where we want it to be, it's also a slow seller. So I'm just going to move on from this product. Now, that was just an example of me searching for one product on somebody's account. What I want to show you guys is how can you save your time without wasting it searching for products that don't make sense. I honestly, what I could have done was I could have just seen that this is a higher sales rank for this category, and I would have known that it's a slow seller. Maybe I just shouldn't look into it. So if you guys remember from the first video, I talked to you about wanting to sell products that are within the top 1%. And so this is how, that's kind of playing a role right now, is it's helping us understand what to look for, what not to look for. So that might be the first thing that I follow. The reason I was willing to search for this product is because the second thing you should look for are the prices that it's actually selling for. If we look at the example right below it, we can see this person wanted to sell this product for $38.98. Right? But the buy box today is at $32.57. So this product is not selling for as much as this person wanted to sell it for. And so if it's not going that well for them, it's probably not going to go well for us. So I just won't even look for this product. On top of it being, 2%. So these are kind of the things that I'm looking at. Because if they wanted to lower their price and sell this item, they could have. But because they didn't, it probably means it's not going too well for them, and it's not going to go well for us either. And we can actually see that happening in the Keepa graphs on the right side. So this product was actually selling for about $40, but you can see that red line moving down now, showing you guys that it's decreasing. So something that I would want to avoid. Does that make sense? And so same thing here, 1570, 1250, I'll skip it. 1795, 1049, I'll skip it. This product right below, 1497, 1475, that's pretty close, right? So I'm going to go ahead and search for this product as well. Now, the example I want to show you guys here is when I'm searching for this product, you can see the Amazon title included grade 4 dorm decor. When you're searching for a product, it's not going to say that on these websites. So sometimes I like to clear up my search so I don't have extra keywords in there, and I'll go ahead and search for this. Now, as I'm searching for this, we can see right here, we need to find this product for $6 or lower in order to make 30% ROI. So I'm looking around for this product for $6.30 or less. I see $6.79, but this is a pack of 3. We're looking for a pack of 8. Same thing here. No, that seems like just one. $8.49 for 12. Maybe we can do something with that. We can repackage it. Maybe I'll check that out. So here's another thing that I want you guys to realize as well. You're not going to find every single product at all. In fact, you're not going to find most of the products that you search for. And so one thing to remember that I like for everyone to practice, I see this product right here. It's also not what I need. So let's say I searched through it. I made it all the way to the bottom of Google. And let's say I spent a minute just scrolling down and I didn't find that product. Most of the time, if it doesn't have the price right down here, it's not going to have that product available, so I just wouldn't click on those links. But if I don't see that product available in under a minute, I'm not going to go over here and start stressing about it. I'm just going to move on from that product. That is where so many people waste their time, is they just get stuck looking for one product. Okay. And then you start thinking, well, where is this person getting it from? Maybe there's a wholesale supplier. I need to do wholesale. No, there might just have been a sale or a local deal that they were able to take advantage of that you weren't able to. And so you have to accept that fact, because there are hundreds of millions of products on Amazon and you're not going to be able to take advantage of all of them. And so as a beginner, the biggest tip I could give you is this is going to be a volume game. Okay. I tell people as they're starting off, if they search for 100 products where the prices are relatively close to each other like this, then I expect them to find maybe 2 to 5 profitable products. So as a beginner, that's all that I'm expecting you to be able to do. Does that make sense? And a lot of these, I'm either looking at the Keepa graph or I'm finding reasons to skip them. This is back where we started. And so maybe we can look a little bit further as well. But you can see $30.17. I just, wouldn't want to search for these products. So that's why I'm not. Sunny Angel, this is actually a brand that I'm familiar with. I see $22.95, $21. I'm going to go ahead and search this one, but that's the good thing, is because I'm familiar with it, I want to search for it. So I'm going to go ahead and Google search this as well. And I see on their website, this product is actually in stock right now. Let's see, at $10. So what I can do here too is I'm going to click on this. It says my max cost is $10.21. So at $10, it's comparing me to a lower price, so it seems like low ROI, but let's say we compare at $20.99. At $20.99, I'm actually making 30% ROI, $3 profit. So now, just by looking at a seller, we found another product that is going to be profitable for us, and we can just analyze this further. So don't get excited when you see 30% ROI, start buying something. You want to make sure it's actually good. And so let's go ahead and click on the Amazon logo and check out this product as well. Cool. No prime shipping. All right, let's check this out. So I'm going to take a little closer look at this over the last month. So I can see that this product mainly coming up to $20, but definitely getting up to that $21 price point as well. So maybe I'd be willing to test there. I see before this, it used to sell for much higher, but then recently it's been a little bit lower. Seems like one person is winning a lot of the buy box. I'm just going to go through and see how much stock this person has left. United Japan. So the person who, look, you can see it shows you the name of the person who kept winning the buy box. And United Japan really kept it here at $20. So that person is almost sold out. And so I feel pretty good because look, the most of the volume is here at $22.75, right? So at $21, we already know we're profitable. And I see most of the stock is at $22.75, so I might compare there, and I can make 47% ROI, $5 profit. It hasn't been there in, let's say, almost 2 weeks, maybe like 10, 11 days, but something that I think this product can get back up to. So I might put this on my watch list, think of it as some potential, but even if we want to look at this as $21, at 33% ROI, if we were buying 10% of the last 30 days of sales, let's say 40 units, this another $132. So that's something that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to stop there. Typically, when I find a good product like this, what I'll do is I'll copy the link and I will go over to SellerAmp. I can paste the link right here to save it. That way it'll always be saved here on SellerAmp. And then I actually have my different Google Sheets attached. So I could click on any of these Google Sheets and then this product would get sent to that Google Sheet. Does that make sense? I'm logged into a different SellerAmp account for my VAs, but let's say I just send it to one of my VA Google Sheets. Now it's automatically saved. It saves the link, the product, my profit, my ROI, all my information that I need. So that's something that's really cool. But now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my sourcing. So I found a potential product, but I'm not going to stop there. I want to find all my potential. As we're scrolling, maybe $28.85, $26.99, that's not bad. Even $25.99, $23, this is not bad. Keepa does, let's check it out actually. So same thing here when I'm searching for this, I might just take away some of these extra keywords. So this is for a pack of, okay, it's a pack of 4, and we need to get it for under $12. Okay, so it's a pack of 4. We need to get it under $12. So Vitacost has these for $4.39 each. I'm just gonna click on Vitacost and see if there's any extra discounts or anything that I can apply. So I just like Vitacost because they always have some extra discounts. So I know I can use Vitacost 20 to get 20% off. That's not really going to get me to where I need to be. Any other bigger websites that carry this? So the website themselves, sometimes I like to check out these websites because they'll have like bundles you can sign up for or subscriptions. So you can see it says subscribe now, save $6. Already brings it down to $39 for, how many do we get in this? 10 bottles? No, 10. Yeah, that's not going to... That's $3.90 each, so that is a little bit cheaper than Vitacost already, right? If we were getting 10 for $39, that's $3.90 each. What you can actually do is, let's say you can sign up for the subscription and we can cancel the subscription later. But let's say we add this to cart. I'm also going to see if, okay, so this is what I like to check for. Sometimes these products come with other free items. No, they're just add-ons. Okay, I got excited for a second. Sometimes there's free items. You can sell those on Amazon and get a bigger discount as well. So let's see. Okay. No. I'm going to apply my Capital One Shopping, see if this has anything for me. Okay, no coupons here. Okay, so nothing. I'm just going to go ahead and stop looking at that product. Let's check out the next product. Oh, okay. Is this it? That was a little easy. I need it for under $7. Okay, Walmart, $4.86. Seems like it's a little bit of a longer product, so the prep or the fees are going to be a little bit high on this. But look, we needed it for under $7.19. We found it for $4.86. And so let's plug that in. Okay, already plugged in. Somebody found it. So $4.86, $25.50. Open up Amazon. We see we're profitable. I see that even though the price difference is huge, we don't have a whole lot of profit. Just because when products are long like this, the fulfillment fees are going to be a little bit higher. But yeah, volume is going up on this. So you can see monthly sales 50, 100, now 200. Sales rank is coming down. Seller count is going up and prices are definitely consolidating a little bit. But right here I have $3 profit, 68% ROI. Let's say I was buying 20 of these, just safe amount. It's not a whole lot, but it's another $66 profit, right? And this is comparing me at $25.50. We can see it's $26.99. So that gets me another $92 actually, right? So just by looking at other sellers, guys, you're going to be able to find a lot more products. Now, what I tell beginners still is that for like 100 products that you look for, I only expect you to find 2 to 5 products. I don't say that to discourage you from looking for products, but I just say that because that's how it is realistically. And this all starts off if you start with a profitable product. You cannot start somewhere random on Amazon, because if you just randomly start and you look up like Dove soap, right? Everybody that's on Amazon, that's not what I needed. Like if we just go to a random listing on Amazon and we just search Dove soap, and let's say we, look at one that's really popular. Like let's say this product is selling 20,000 times a month or whatever. Let me click on one of these 10,000s. If you just pick a random product, right? Let's wait for SellerAmp to open up. Let's see if there's other sellers on here. Yeah, so there's like 16 other sellers, right? So if you just started looking at a random listing like this and you don't even know how people are making profit, where they're getting it for cheap enough, you might click on some of these sellers, and all of these sellers, they might just be random wholesalers that are able to get this product for a really low price from a private supplier. But you could go on their account and you could be searching for their products all over Google, and you're not going to find anything on there. So many people waste their time just looking up these products, thinking that they're going to be able to find them somewhere. But no, you can't randomly look at any random listing on Amazon. You really need to start with a profitable product. And so I'll show you guys how you can find those. But just by going through this seller, I'm not going to keep going through right here. I'm able to find a lot more good products. So what I kind of tell everyone is that, and that's just from one seller. I would open up every single seller that's on this listing that has less than 2,000 reviews. I'm just saying that as a beginner. Over time, you'll start looking at some of these bigger sellers as well. But to save you some time, I would start looking through all of these other sellers and open up all of their accounts, go through their products, skip the ones that don't have similar pricing, and don't search for over a minute. I tell people you want to be searching a product a minute or a minute and a half. That's how quickly you want to be searching products. So that would allow you to search about 100 products in, let's say, 2 hours, right? To be on the safe side as a beginner. And so when you're going through searching, you guys can see already I've been able to find multiple products. If you can just find 10 products that make you $100 each, now you're making $1,000 profit in total. This is still a struggle for people in the beginning, but I wanted to at least show you guys a little bit of how this works. Now, here's how I actually take this to the next level and make it way easier, way faster. Okay. Every time I find a good seller like this that I know has multiple good products, which I can already see because I found multiple good products, instead of looking at their name, one thing I can do is I can bookmark them. Actually I've run across this person before. So they're bookmarked already. But what I can do is, instead of just bookmarking them, and the reason I bookmark them is because you always want to come back to these people. Now that you know they're good, you can keep finding more products from them. But right here, it has their seller ID. So what I like to do is I like to copy the seller ID, and I like to head over to Stealth Seller. Now, this is not a software that you need right now as a beginner, but I wanted to show you guys how I automate this process a little bit and how it becomes, much easier. So every time I find a good seller, I type in add seller, and it asks me to type in their seller ID. So once I put in the seller ID that I grabbed from SellerAmp, I'm able to now monitor this seller. And so what I mean by that is, you'll see right here, it says Empowered Aloha. This is one seller that I found on Amazon before. If we go down, you can see, okay, this person posted a lot. But you can see, let's keep going. Trader Scott's, this is another seller that I found. Let's see, JS Ecom, this is another seller that I found. SEMA Store LLC, AMN LLC. So these are all other sellers that are doing the exact same thing as me, who I have also found multiple winning products from. The purpose of me saving their seller IDs and putting them into this software is because now that I know that they're good sellers, I just get notified every time they upload a new good product, which is absolutely awesome, right? So instead of me having to go do as much work, search through all these sellers, I have my competition doing the work for me because I already found out that they're good sellers. And so every single day when I wake up, I just look here to see what all of my competition has posted, and I'm able to find winning products a lot more easily. So just like every product is not a good product, every seller is not a good seller. And you have to go into that process of searching to find these good sellers, but putting in that time in the beginning makes it so much easier for you going forward. And so I still have to check all of these products, right? You guys can see if I scroll down, let's say even if we look at some of these other ones, this one was popped up at 1:48 a.m. I was asleep at 2 a.m., right? But products were being found. Now, every single one of these products is not automatically going to be a winner for me. I still have to analyze them. I still have to search for them. However, if you're searching for 100 products randomly from other sellers on Amazon versus me looking at 100 products that came from sellers that I already know are good, you're finding 2 to 5 profitable products. That means only 2 to 5% of the products you search for are going to be profitable. Whereas I might find 15 to 20 because I already know they're coming from good sellers. And so that's why it's so worth it to make sure that you're bookmarking and saving these sellers. And then afterwards, when you're actually ready, you know you're making money with this business, using a software like Stealth Seller to automate that business a little bit. So this is kind of the idea that I would tell many other people to start with as well, is once you have a profitable product, anything like this, I make 60% ROI here. I can go down, I can click on, like, this person doesn't have any reviews, so I might click on the next person, right? And now I can start looking through their products to see what they might have available as well. Let's see what they got. Usually the first few products on somebody's account aren't the best, so I usually end up scrolling down a little bit further to see what's available. I think I've ran into this one too, 22, 21, so this is a pretty close price. Google search. I'm honestly finding a little bit more than I typically do all at once, but this is 32 ounce. 32 ounce, okay. So max cost $7.77. We get it for $7 right here. And so I'm gonna open this up. So here's a cool thing here. You can actually sign up for a subscription and you get 10% off. So once again, we're not going to keep these subscriptions, sign up for them, get the discount, cancel them after. So it brings my cost down to $6.29. And I always like to look around for these little banners right down here. I can see it says get 10% off, and I can put in my email address to get another 10% off. So let's say I go back, I click on this, and maybe originally this product will cost $6.99. I don't know why it says $9.99. It's selling for $20.99. We can double check that too right after. But $6.99, and we got 10% off because it gave us a subscription. Then we got another 10% off for giving them our email, right? So now we're making 80% ROI on this product, $4.50 profit. That's a whole lot better than even what we had before already. So I can open this up, I can double check it's selling well, and I'll have another winning product. So let's check it out. So yeah, $20.99. We can see it's selling for that right now. We want to check Keepa to make sure it's consistently been there. So these prices, okay, they've been getting higher, lower, but they've been floating around this $20 price point even here. So let's say I plug in, I'm just looking at like the last month right now, and I can see they've pretty consistently at least been at $20. It does go down to $9.99, but it always, that person sells out, it goes right back up. So that's not bothering me. So I'm just going to compare at $20. And that's perfectly fine for me. I'm checking my sales, 200 to 300 monthly sales. That's pretty good. So if I was adding like 30 to 40 of these, let's just put in 30, that's another $100 profit, right? So that's something that's awesome. But just like that, maybe you won't find them as consistently, but start from a profitable product. And so it's a little bit of a struggle. Start having your first one. If you guys need one, you can ask me and I'll give you a profitable product or a profitable listing to start with. That way you can start by looking at those sellers. That's something I could help you with. But what I do for all of my students is I just post profitable products every single week in our group. That way you're able to go through. I don't really post these for people to be able to like buy and sell them because I don't want you guys to just all see the same products and sell them. That, you know, they'll get competitive. But I send you these profitable listings. That way you can go look at the other sellers. You have a place to start. So that's something that's really awesome. Now, there are levels on top of this as well. There are tips and tricks, but as a beginner, what I would kind of push you to do is start with a profitable product, open up all the sellers, start going through their products. Don't expect much. 95% of the products you search for are not going to be profitable. So once you understand that, it's all about how quickly can I search for products. And over time, that number will increase. Okay. One thing I wanted to add on there is a lot of people that might be familiar with this already. What you guys will see is sometimes we search for products. Like let's say this product, right? If I was to search for this product on Google, I would see that it's available for, let's say $12.59 at VitaCost, right? And so if it's available for that price at VitaCost, $12.59, if I plug in $12.59, this product is not going to be profitable for me. So SellerAmp's comparing me to the low price. I see it sells for more, $25.99, but I'm still not making 30% ROI, right? So there's so many products that we search for that don't make us the profit that we need, but as you get familiar with these websites, you'll understand that they send you discounts, coupon codes, and just like, you know, you can earn cash back, things like that to be able to make more profit on a product. So you're not going to find everything profitably right away. So many of the products that I even sell profitably, I'll search for them just like this. I'll see, hey, I only have 12% ROI, but I'll still save them in my Google Sheet. I have a Google Sheet for like VitaCost products. That way, whenever VitaCost gives gives me a discount of 20% off or 30% off or 40% off, I can apply that discount and get this product for cheaper. So this is actually one of the products that I've sold before in the past that I'm actually able to get. Even if I got my 20% off that I usually get from them, like Vita cost 20, it brings my product down to 10.07, where I make $4 profit and 41% ROI. Sometimes, rarely, they have sales on Dr. Bronner's products as well, where you might be able to get another 20% off, make a lot more profit for a product like this. And so I just wanted to give you guys this example that even while you're going through these sellers, sometimes you don't make as much as you quite need. But if you think that's a website that will send you a discount or a coupon later, save that product in a Google Sheet. When you get the coupon, you'll have a list of all these products that you can make profitable. And any product that you can make profitable versus find profitable is always going to be better, because if you find something easily by searching it, that means other people can find it too. As a beginner, it's absolutely okay, but I teach all of my students how to even find way more products than what you just find on the Google search. But this is kind of what I want you guys to start with. So that's going to cover the methods of sourcing that I would recommend to any beginner. I think it's the fastest way of being able to find products, online. So even if we just go through what we looked at, I started with this seller right here, and we found several different products, right? So I think we found this product right here making us, let's say, $92 profit, right? And this is me being very conservative. I could also buy 40 of these and make $184. Right? Like, this is something that I would do. When you have 94% ROI, $4 profit, these are the types of products that you actually buy a little bit more of, because you have a good cushion. And even if anything goes wrong with the market, you'll be safe. And here I can see this product doesn't hit our break even, and volume is going up. So I just wanted to give you guys the idea. Plus it's summer now. So more people are going to be buying this. Maybe you'll make 184 from this product. What else did I find? I think I found a few on here. I'm just going to kind of count up the total to show you guys a little bit of an idea. So this Sunny Angel product, do I have that open right here? So the Sunny Angel product, if we bought a safe amount of those two, let's say that makes us another 132, right? So even if I put both of those together, let's say it's making me $300. What is this? This didn't make us money. So $300 from those products. Did I have one more? I swear I did. I think this product is profitable too. Let me just search for this. How much do we need to find it for? $576, $549. So there you guys go. And that one too, even if we just get it for $549, already plugged in, selling for $14.68, makes us 36% ROI. And I can analyze this further too. Excuse me. So like this is how you can just constantly look for more products. I wanted to kind of give an account, because even in these 25 minutes that I've been searching, we have over $300-400 in profit. So I can see this is at like 1540-ish as well. It gets up there, 1540. You can look at this closer too for the last week, seeing some of these higher prices that it sells for. So you actually get, let's say we buy, sells 400 plus times. Let's say you buy 40 of these, another $100 profit, right? So that kind of puts us at $400 profit just for these few products that we've been finding from just one seller. Oh, and then I found one from this seller too, I think, the Bissell product. So that'll add another $500 profit. So just by looking at other sellers, when you're doing it correctly, when you're looking at the right sellers, when you know what to look for and what to filter through as BS, that's going to help you out a ton. Okay, so if you guys end up needing more tips on top of this, absolutely feel free to let me know. I would love to be able to help you out a little bit more as well. Now, as a bonus to this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of things. One of them is what to avoid. And I will honestly say this is more important than anything else that you've heard me talk about so far. Because just as important as it is for me to teach you what to do on Amazon, it's just as important for me to tell you what not to do on Amazon. So I have just a few listings open to give you guys a few quick examples. There's going to be more that I add on to this series as well. But these are things that are very important that I would be avoiding. Okay. Or at least understanding how to analyze. So this is a little bit more Keepa analysis. I have these few tabs open right here. And so I'll go through them. Some of these have to do with IP complaints that can get your account deactivated, not being on properly branded listings and generic listings. These are mistakes that beginners make all the time. They find things that are profitable. They think they're selling well. They've looked at Keepa and they think it's all good, but it ends up not really being that good. They end up losing money or getting themselves in trouble. So let's talk about some of these. I'm going to start from the bottom actually, which is for generic listings. So let's say you come across a product. When you're looking at this product, you always want to make sure right down here where it says brand, it doesn't say generic. The reason we don't want to sell on generic listings is because these brands, like this brand right here, Kubota or whatever it's called, if they find this listing, they can send a complaint to Amazon saying, hey, there's a listing on Amazon. It's not listed properly. It says it's generic, but it's a branded product. So they're not representing our brand correctly, and that's infringing on our rights, right? And so they'll send a complaint, and two things can happen. One, you'll get a strike on your Amazon account health, which if you pile those up, you're going to get your account deactivated. So you don't want to do that. But two, if you send this to Amazon for FBA, now not only can you not sell it, but you have to pay to have it shipped back to you, probably can't return it, and you're going to be taking a loss. And so this is something that I would want you guys to avoid. Similarly, if you see a product, this is a double bubble brand product. If you see something that is branded with a different brand name, also don't look at that. So if we take a look at, let's say, what is it? Yeah, Sunny Angel, right? So if we take a look at this, it's a Sunny Angel product. The brand is Sunny Angel. If we take a look at, Louisville Slugger, that's what it says right up there as well. If you take a look at Dr. Bronner's, it's going to say Dr. Bronner's, right? So you want to make sure the brand that this is listed under is the exact brand that the product is from, because that's something that can get you in a little bit of trouble. Does that make sense? So same thing here too. Cody Spun or Airspun. I guess that's Airspun's the brand. So that's what you would be kind of making sure. Bissell Pro right here. So when we see Playo, you can see that that's not good. And so what you'll see happen is even on listings like this, historically, you can see there used to be a bunch of other sellers that were selling this product, right? And if you pay close attention, you can see there was a drop right down here from 13 all the way down to 1, showing you that all these people got kicked off the listing. That's the only time it goes straight down. When you see that happen, that means there was a complaint sent out, whether it be an IP complaint, authenticity complaint, some sort of complaint that would tell you, hey, stay away from this listing. And then once that happened, you can see people continue to sell that product. There was another drop. So more people got kicked off and got in trouble. Over time, people didn't learn their lesson. And now you can see they just got kicked off slowly. And now it's back to just being one seller on the listing. So this is the owner of the listing. Whenever you see it's not branded properly, it just means that somebody created their own listing because they have their own brand. They add on another product. This is not something that you would want to do. So you can ask me about it, but I'll tell you, 100 reasons why you don't want to do this. So don't think about it as a beginner. But these are things that we would want to avoid. Now, since I've shown you that drop on Keepa, I want to show you guys a few more. So check out this one, right? On this product, you might see that recently people are selling this product, right? There's been sellers that are hopping onto this listing, and there's like 11 people selling it. If you look historically, you can see this is another listing where people were kicked off of. So you don't want to fall for that trap. This is branded properly, but this is something you can get in trouble for. You might get away for a little bit, but that IP complaint will get sent. You'll lose money. You'll be upset. And we don't want you to lose your account. Now, here's just another one. This is like an easy way. So like this one was really clear. You can see there was plenty of sellers. Boom, no more sellers. And an easy way to identify this is if you guys look back here, you can see that the brand of this product, if I can find them, let me just zoom in. So the brand of this product, the owners, where are they at? Okay, so right here, you can see it said Truff Hot Sauce, right? And that's obviously the brand that sells this. So when you can see the brand on the listing itself, most of the time that's going to be an easy indicator to let you know that they're going to kick everyone off the listing. And so you could see even back here, they were selling this product themselves and people should have realized that they're all going to get kicked off. Instead, all of these sellers got themselves in trouble, lost money, etc. So these are things that I want to help you guys avoid. Make sure you always check Keepa. If you're not using Keepa, you are just gambling on Amazon. If there's anything that you guys are confused about here, please definitely feel free to let me know. What I'm going to do is this gives you guys, now you have all the information for setting up, getting approvals, knowing how to look for products, knowing how to analyze products, and I'm sure you might be able to figure out how to ship them. If you're somebody who starts finding winning products, you need help shipping, just message me. I'd love to be able to help you out, and I'll create a video for that too. That way, you know how to do everything in between. There are so many more aspects of this business that will help you scale your business, that will help you find products more consistently, because even me, I wake up every single morning, and I don't have to look for these products because I have a team of VAs that's doing that for me. And so if you want to learn further, if you are really interested in expediting this process, getting to making more money quickly, I'm going to attach in this email that I sent you, I'm going to add another video that just goes over our coaching offer. So you'll know what's included in our group. You'll see that we have group calls and classes every single week. You see that I'm giving you guys products. We have monitors for even more products. You guys can see we have guides. There's a lot of stuff that we do for you too. You'll see the success of so many of our members. So last thing I wanted to show you guys here is some of these people like just started, like Sana, she just had she started April, less than 2 months ago from today. And literally a week into it, she's already at 2,100 in sales. She's probably going to get to hopefully 10,000 this month. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Hamza is literally 14 years old. He's at 7,000 in sales total. That's awesome. 2 lefties, 30,000 in sales, for the month. So there's plenty of people in here. I might show you guys one crazy one, just to motivate you guys. So Wavy, he started, let's say in December. It's been 5 months, right? And last month he did 60,000 in sales, 20% margin. So that's $12,000 profit. And these are the things that we kind of work with. Once you learn how to find products, I teach you, I coach you to get better. Then I see what your budget is and I set realistic goals for you so we can make progress together. So you can see that his goal this month was to spend $28,000 because I knew he had the budget. He's skilled up a little bit. And I knew that he knew how to find this many products, right? So the blue was his goal, but instead his budget was even bigger, and he was able to spend double that. He found $56,000 worth of profitable inventory to send to Amazon. So these are the things that we're doing. And a lot of these people, they're not spending their own money. Once you learn this business, you use credit, you use the bank's money, you make your money, you pay the bank back, you make your profit, right? There's so many great cards that are giving you good cash back. So just by using a credit card, you're able to earn more money on top of that. And so these are all things that we kind of teach you about. You'll see so many other people like this person, Iyad, right? In our program, not only are we teaching you all this, I work with you one-on-one for a couple of months basically. And I give you the products to start with. So Iyad is also somebody, he sent out his first shipment. And you can see literally from the first day that his products arrived, he has 600 in sales. And you'll see a lot of people like this. I'm kind of used to seeing it. Let's see if there's my first FBA sale. So same thing. I sent out his shipment with him. I gave him some products to start with. Same thing with KJ. So this is really, really good stuff. But yeah, if you guys end up needing any more information or you want to learn a little bit further about sourcing, finding profitable products, don't be afraid to message me, ask me about our program where we can help you out. The good thing about our program is that any money that you pay us, we guarantee we'll make it back for you as well, or you get to have your money back. So that's the beautiful part. It is risk-free from your end. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go too far. I don't want to overwhelm you guys too much. I can start making more videos about all of these other methods of sourcing as well. There's manual sourcing online. There's A to A online. So these are all really other good methods. And, wholesale suppliers, liquidation, those are things that liquidation I would avoid, but this is a level you have to get to. So a lot of people ask me about wholesale too. All right, I'm going to shut up before I make this video too long. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay blessed, stay profitable, and I'll see you guys next time.